economy is dependent on the two mines, the garrison, and whatever ship is unfortunate enough to dock.
Sorry, gotta run.
I could definitely go for a drink.
I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Yes?
There's rumors
One
of
sec,
a curse
coming
haunting
through.
Dawnstar. I didn't stick around long enough to find out more, but it could be worth checking out.
The people here are still plagued with nightmares. It's unnatural.
Oh, it's you again. Thank you for earlier. I'd appreciate if you kept some of the more embarrassing details to yourself. When I was younger, I trained in the barracks as a sword maiden. Many believed I would eventually serve Skal the Elder as his housecarl. But the position was filled by a man named Yod, a great warrior and former Imperial Legionnaire. Yod was part of a naval garrison that fought off the Thalmor as their ships attempted to establish a beachhead on the northern coast. As a result, he's revered and loved by the people, the guards, and more importantly, the Jarl himself, a true hero of Skyrim. Except I know I'm a better fighter than Jod. He may have been a great warrior in his time, but now he gets by on reputation and myth. And while I realize there is something almost cruel about slaying a man's reputation, sometimes it is the only way. I know one thing, people would have hated me for it. We all want to think our heroes are infallible. Maybe that's why Skal decided to put a stop to all the talk.
There's an
He
old
told the
battle
guard
maiden
captain
named
to get
Frida
rid
in
of me.
Mortar and Pestle.
Said there
She's
was a
got
hole
some
in my
interesting
defense.
stories.
So do people, and so do dreams. I've seen too much of the world to want to be cooped up in a longhouse, listening to nobles and farmers petition the Jarl for lord taxes. As a bounty hunter, I can still serve the Hold and the Jarl while traveling across the Pale, and honor the spirits to whom I've pledged my sword. I know, bounty hunters put their lives on the line almost every day, and only reap from the blood they sow. When I was a guard, I gotten into hundreds of battles, fights, and scuffles, but never with my life on the line. We used to clean out the barracks and hold sparring matches, tourneys, put half a week's wages in a pot, winner takes all. We'd knock each other around with practice swords until our bellies were as lumpy as a toad. I won more than my share, of lumps and gold. You fight recklessly when the blades are blunted. What's a blow to the arm if you can knock a man to the ground? People won those tournaments by turning them into melees, old-fashioned brawls. Real fights, I imagined they'd be different. I knew they'd be different. It was just a question of how much. The Jarl had put up a bounty after word came of pilgrims dying near the Waynan stones. As the stones form a wreath around the shrine of Talos, many suspected the Talmor. Few were brave enough to challenge them. Only when I arrived I found no Talmor. All was silent save the crunch of my boots against the quilt of snow. Just in case, I knelt before the altar like a pilgrim and asked for Talos' blessing. That's when I heard it, the chattering of teeth. Yes, the chime was that of bones, but bones clear as crystal that sparkled like the white river. It was a sound that slithered and swam through the air, rattling like a pair of bone snakes. Only they did so without a body, and without a tongue. They were ice wraiths. I drew my sword when I should have raised my shield. I still recall the feeling of frostbite that touched my skin as their fangs sunk into my flesh. I shook them off and darted back behind the stone. It felt as if the wind itself was trying to take a bite out of my neck. I looked to Talos for guidance. He granted my faith with a vision, a tiny red dot dancing around the altar. It was a drop of blood, and just like that, I had my answer. With but one health potion left, I would only have one chance. I tossed my shield away. I slashed my palm and squeezed it, letting the blood collect in my hand. Then I closed my eyes and listened for the rattle to get close. I threw the blood in the direction of the noise, hoping to splatter it across their glassy spines. Then I opened my eyes, and there they were. Once the mystery was gone, they were nothing more than slaughterfish, wading through the air as I stuck them with my blade. Batilde, owner of Ironbreaker Mine. When her and her husband Legelf split up, she got the iron and left him with the quicksilver. That scrap ain't good for much save patching up elven armor, and if that's your business here, you may find yourself with a shortage of customers. The divorce wasn't much of a surprise considering. They were never really friendly with each other. Passionate, maybe, but that's not enough. It was only a matter of time before things got messy, and my sister's not someone you want to mess with. She's the kind of woman who chews rocks for fun and cleans her dishes with spit. Cross her, and you're not doing yourself any favors. At least I have an excuse. I'm obligated to love my sister. Legelf chose to. But that makes it sound like my sister was a frost troll. She wasn't perfect. She wasn't even decent. But people who work and live the hard way, they are worthy of your respect. For a tough miner like Legelf, maybe that isn't love, but it's close enough. I won't let you down. Wherever we go, no matter how far we travel, it's always nice to come back home.
What do you need? Is that everything?
I wasn't born in Skyrim, but when I served in the Legion, this land became my home.
Those warriors from Hammerfell, they've got curved swords. Curved swords.
Despite the garrison, Dawnstar's war has less to do with soldiers and more to do with the mines.
and stick my head up there and... You're too late. The mine already killed both of them. Or maybe it was trying to keep its treasure secret. Say, you should go... Well, it was that or become the Jarl. I thought being a horrible brat was the more promising career choice. Make it quick.
Someone do something!
Bad idea. Smart man. Now come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
Yes? All right then.